Good evening or afternoon, wherever you are in the world. My name's Am Deval, aka the Mental Health Warrior, and I'm spicing things up tonight. I've got Craig White. He's the guest tonight, and obviously he did send me his bio, but I haven't got it in front of me, so I'll let him explain who he is and what he does, because he does quite a bit. All I've got to say is, see you in 30 seconds. Do I say afternoon or do I say evening? Because we're in the UK.
Easy. Evening.
We'll do evening. Yeah, it's normally evening around about 5 o'clock anyway, isn't it? Something like that, I don't know. But anyway, welcome to Warrior TV.
Hello.
And already we've got Kerry Deval, my beautiful wife, live from right above me. She put, hi guys. Hello. Right. I'm going to start by throwing some quick fire questions at you just to lighten the mood a little bit. And if anyone in the comments has got some, throw them as well. So all I'm going to say is cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Dogs. Okay. Summer or winter?
Winter.
Rain or snow?
Snow.
Okay. Oh, hello. What's going on there? I don't know. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
No.
Thank God. I hate pineapple. I really do. Yeah, that's my partner going to be tuning out now. So, yeah, she loves pineapple. Don't know why. Tastes like rubber, doesn't it?
You just got to chew it, can you?
It's wrong. It's wrong. Next one, I'm going to say, are you a night owl or an early bird?
Early bird.
Early bird. Oh, no. Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Yeah, I'm on the espresso. So yeah. Never. My advice: never have an espresso at 9 o'clock at night because you won't sleep. Mm-hmm. Right. We'll get started. I'm going to say, just tell the viewers a little bit about who Craig is and what he does.
It's hard to explain, really, but I'll give it a go. I was given co-proximal painkillers in 1996, and basically this destroyed what resistance my gut would have had towards chemicals. So over the coming years, I had post-traumatic stress. I didn't work out what was going on until I started reducing the overall chemicals that I was using in natural in everyday products. Mm-hmm. So basically the chemicals were preventing my body recovering from post-traumatic stress that were in everyday products. Wow. So I learned to wash with water to reduce the resistance that my gut was having to chemicals.
Yeah.
Which was still a mystery. So the chemicals that were creating a chemical suppression throughout my body that was obviously creating the resistance in my gut to chemicals. It was an overnight experience.
Yeah.
So my mind, it was the post-traumatic stress, the mind, what I believe occurred was I've always had chemical suppression. So I could get a chemical reaction in my gut which creates a spasm. Now, at the time of shock, when shock travels through the body, I believe the gut possibly ruptures and creates our mental health problems, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I had to work with myself to understand myself to reduce that unnatural activity in my gut to allow my gut to heal, which if you did not know about the chemical suppression in your gut, you wouldn't know how to allow that spasm, that turn to rupture, to heal, to give your gut the best chance to heal, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, yeah. I was actually going to ask you, can you give like an example, a description about what chemical suppression actually is, for the viewers that don't know what it is?
It's just everyday, the effects of everyday chemicals you may use in everyday products. In 10 years' time, your gut will create a resistance to them chemicals if your gut's allowed to create a resistance. So after 10 years of using certain chemicals, it's the effects of that are irreversible.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. We've already got a question. What does mental health mean to you?
Mental health, well, from 13-year-old, I was getting picked up from school, going to see my dad, because my dad himself had his own problems, you know what I mean? And I was going to see him at the hospital. And no one knew that this young kid was developing the same kind of problems as what his father had. And I've got all of my life. And I've had to develop myself through, you know, these
Mm.
problems I had, because there wasn't any real help for me, you know what I mean? And like what I was saying with my dad with the medication, I've never took medication. I've went a different route.
Yeah,
So these are just things I've understood about chemicals and what the effects are to certain individuals, whether it's genetics, yeah, across the board, the varying chemicals affect different people differently.
yeah, yeah.
That may be the case.
So, yeah, yeah. So tell us about how you was like growing up, like through the education and stuff like that. What
Struggle.
kind of childhood did you have?
My brother and sister passed everything. I had a.
Oh no, we're not on about your brother and sister. We're on about you.
Oh, you're on about me. Well, there was three of us, if you know what I mean, and
Yeah.
I struggled, and no one could say why I was struggling, and I was always compared to my brother and sister, although they passed everything. You know, if you know what I mean. This kid here didn't. He struggled, and he couldn't. He had no vision. He couldn't
Mm-hmm.
comprehend things for what they were, and this is something I've learned to understand about myself, so I can create vision enough to comprehend by allowing your natural activity which flows through my body to settle, which allows the sensory delay, if you want to put it that way, to
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
operate.
yeah. You're autistic, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've got an autistic son myself.
yeah,
So when it comes to mindset, um, and obviously with what's been going on the last 18, 19 months or so, how have you coped? Because clearly, autistic people, they're going to be very confused. They don't know what's right and what's wrong these days.
yeah.
So what strategies have you put in place?
I can reduce the unnatural activity in my body, which allows my mindset to work in the moment. So I learned to reduce, obviously, the unnatural activity that was going on in my gut, and my gut doesn't further intoxicate my body.
Mm-hmm.
So like I can reduce with brown juice inulin, break down obviously what's going on in my gut, the feces, to allow the gas to pass instead of them interfering with my mind.
Wow. Wow. And how old were you when you find out you've got these challenges?
Well, I went a long way through my life with no understanding because autistic back in the day wasn't very well known.
Yeah, exactly. So how old were you when you found out you had autism? And what was your response?
I would say I had post-traumatic stress before I even understood I had autism. So these people's living in the moment with difficulties and they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very much like that myself. So
Yeah.
you're going to have a whole host of problems with your life coming into your life, which is interfering with you and everyone else around you because you're being,
Exactly.
you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I absolutely do. And I know, because obviously you said that you was misunderstood. Was that within the school as well?
Everywhere, yeah. I
Yeah.
was a problem child, if you know what I mean. But I was insecure and I couldn't confront what people were saying at the time, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Just trying to think because autistic is such a huge thing, and a lot of autistics get picked on and bullied because they're not like every Tom, Dick, and Harry.
yeah.
So my question to that is, why do you think kids of today get kicked out of schools and colleges
I think it's
over
deeper. I think it's
yeah,
deeper than just the individuals. I think it's across the board. I think chemicals in general are affecting everyone on different levels to one another, which is affecting how each individual themselves can see past themselves as
yeah,
individuals. And
yeah,
they cause problems at the same time, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So were you like on the high spectrum, the low spectrum of autism?
I would say high.
The high, yeah.
Yeah.
My son is, yeah. But see, between the low and the high, now I've come across someone that's on the high spectrum. I've come across someone that's on the low spectrum, and fair enough, yeah, the low, they don't talk, like the non-verbal, and the high is, well, let's not get into that. But it's, we expected, I'll talk from my experience, is we took my son to a party, a birthday party, and we knew that there was going to be another autistic kid there. And he's not on the high spectrum, he's on the low. So everyone expected there's going to be an explosion here. There's going to be a massive kicking off. But really, they got on.
Yeah.
Why?
It's a functional disorder, isn't it? When you think about the atmosphere affects the function. But if you can control the function in the individual, so whether the
Yeah,
individuals are comfortable, which
absolutely.
is part of the problem, maybe, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And obviously, we've got Richard Fay, and he's on the high spectrum of autism as well. So, yeah, welcome, Richard. Hope you are well. So, did you graduate from school?
No.
No. No. Okay.
No,
So,
I could. When teachers spoke to me and told us different things, nothing sunk in it, and I couldn't keep up with anything with in any lesson, if you know what I mean. So nothing was sinking in, and I wasn't keeping up with any tasks, if you know what I mean, at that time.
yeah. Yeah.
But there was no one there to say, look, this is the problem. this is what you need to do, because there was no, this is what you need to do.
I agree.
This is
I agree, yeah.
little bit about what I want to do with myself. I want to help people understand that they can reduce that unnatural activity, whether the body becomes broken through what I believe is chemical suppression. I think the flesh is the only thing in between our skin which stops the gut creating resistance to them chemicals. So once our body is in between skin and gut is breached, and you further induce the gut with chemicals, you are creating a gut suppression, which is pretty much the gut's got no in between, and it's just going to create resistance. But if you can reduce that activity, that allows the gut and the mind to play ball with each other.
Yeah.
And the individuals.
Yeah, let's put that question out there, because everyone keeps saying this. It's actually a 2 question, and people are saying no, people saying yes. The first question is just to settle all the disputes and dilemmas and whatever people want to call it these days. Does the MMR cause autism?
Possibly.
Okay.
It could be that what paves the way to why the rest of the life is, whether it's genetics. You know, we don't know if everyone needs vaccines. Certain back in the day, there was people who carried the human race forward. So is a one size fits all? Are we causing damage to these people who have vaccines need a slightly less dose? Do you know what I mean? Do we need to see the variations of individuals' genetics to see what we actually do to genetics in the long term?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, obviously, we know people are going to agree with you. We know people are going to disagree with you.
Yeah.
And like we always believe in equality, and no one's higher than anyone, and every view counts. That's what we believe. But yeah, it just pees me off a little bit, because autistics they get treated like outsiders when it comes to the education. I do. Yeah, and that pees me off a little bit, to be honest, because everyone should be treated equal.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Richard stood up and sneezed very hard 3 times, and now he has neck and shoulder pain. Okay. All right, Richard. Oh, me and him get on so well. He'll probably ring me after this anyway. So, talk about your first job. What was it, and did you find it easy or hard?
It's going back away, isn't it? Yeah, factory work. Yeah, I've always struggled to be in there. I think by the time you get used to the atmosphere, you're in and out of jobs, to be fair.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
my uncle got us a job once, and that's when I went, after I lost my job, and I moved to London, and I was pretty much on the streets in London. I was down London, and I ran away from my problems because I had a car to pay for and different things, you know. And that's when my problems really started, I think.
So you was homeless?
I wasn't homeless, but I was living where I could, you know what I mean? In and out of places, with no real secure place, but didn't get in touch with no one. I was there, and I just went there, you know, with.
Absolutely. Yeah. Another comment. Every person with autism has a superpower. So obviously, like my son is numbers and puzzles and stuff like that. What's yours?
Vision, interpreting my body. Because my gut's probably's got resistance overnight. That resistance has allowed my vision to possibly predict the way my body, if I allow my gut, allow chemicals to interfere with me gut, although I know not to allow chemicals, my body goes a certain way, my mind goes a certain way, and I can phase that in and I can phase that out
Yeah.
and understand and predict certain things. What obviously I want to help others understand, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So having vision within myself, yeah. But when that phase is in and out, it's like being an introvert and an extrovert in a short space of time. But whether that's the reason behind your natural
Yeah.
activity that's in the body that people's not understanding, that's creating
Yeah. Absolutely.
as well.
Yeah. 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 You've got kids, haven't you?
2 boys, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Through these challenges you've had, what was your response when your is it partner or ex-partner now?
Partner.
Partner. What was your response when she told you she was pregnant for the very first time and you were going to be a dad?
Couldn't look after myself and mind a kid.
Okay, let's talk about that. Come on.
You just, what you don't realize until it actually occurs that you can do a lot more, but it does change you because you've got other people to think about, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
So, like I've developed myself over time with myself as all that was going on as well, yeah. So I've allowed myself to have a life beyond the life I had, and with my 2 children and my partner.
Brill.
What I've been doing's been going on in the background, to be fair, and I've
Yeah.
been developing myself through myself pretty much on my own, yeah.
Not bad, not bad. So would you, because I know some parents, obviously like myself as well, would you see your boys as role models towards you? Or is it vice versa? They see you as role model.
They don't understand kids.
Do they not?
No, I'm saying you've got kids and they live in the moment, don't they? So
Yeah, you can't keep up with them.
I've got one's a little bit more outgoing than the other one, but
Yeah. Do they have autism?
I'm not sure. I don't. The one definitely hasn't, but the other one is a little bit of a handful. So what I'm doing as well as part of creating awareness for my own kids as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I believe everyone can wash with water, and I know brushing your teeth might not seem the best thing to do, but if you detox yourself and allow your body to be free from chemicals, your mind will play ball with your body, and you will feel better for it. So over time, that resistance that builds can't be done with anyone any favors.
All right. Okay.
And that might
Richard.
bring togetherness as well with
Yeah. 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 Richard's superpowers: photographic memory, navigation, communication, and through personal development has mitigated some of the issues, so he's helped become more developed. Well done, Richard. So, yeah. So, what is life like as like now? What? Because autism is it's getting spoken about a lot more these days. But obviously, there's still that stigma around discriminating kids with not just kids, but people as well with autism. So, what do you think we need to do to stop that?
we need to create better strategies for people, understand people maybe like myself, who can put things in place and people around them can understand. the benefits of people who living in the moment, who can find strategies. But this is one of the reasons I've wanted to do what I'm doing, because you cannot take something like this to your grave, and would it ever be understood like this again? You know what I mean? Like what I've understood. Because I believe if chemicals slowly deteriorate the gut over time, your gut will create resistance over time. Your body will deteriorate slowly over time, and there'll be no in between. Like my gut created resistance overnight, so I had time to work with my gut before my body deteriorated. So I think I can put the things in place to help people understand why the body deteriorates in the mind over time. All the chemicals.
Yeah. So where do you see you in like 12 months' time?
Hopefully helping people.
Yeah. And that's what we're doing at the Mental Health Warriors. We are helping as many people as we can. And we're on a mission to end this stigma, finally. That's what we're doing. And we're not going to stop until it's done.
Yeah.
So, so if you come across yourself, how old are you now?
45.
45. So if you came across yourself when you were, I don't know, say about 19, what advice would you give to that little Craig White?
It's hard. At 19, I was still living a life, and I was still trapped in what was going on. If you know what I mean? Well, would I have took any notice? Things was going to always get worse before they got better. So what you need to do with someone who's not really going to listen, who's got a mental block, that's getting in the way to how them understand what you're actually saying, because this is the problem what we've got. A lot of individuals haven't got vision past themselves, so they're suffering in the moment. So getting over to these people, you need to strip it back and help these people. There's more to life than what you actually live. And if you can put the strategies to create these, the difference, so it allows the person to feel the difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
You might be able to get through to these people without trying to force yourself to get through to these people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so keep it short and sweet. And because obviously phone's about to go died anyway. So all I've got to say is thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Thanks
you're most welcome. Most welcome. So I'll end this now, and hope everyone has a good weekend.
Yeah,
So,
thank you.
cheerio.
See ya.